In Baltimore Changes Everything, the first episode of Duster Season 1, Josh Holloway plays Jim Ellis, a mafia getaway driver whose brother Joey passed away years earlier. Duster stars Josh Holloway as Jim Ellis, a mafia getaway driver employed by Phoenix mobster Ezra Saxon. Jim honors his brother, who passed away years ago, by hanging his brother's dog tags on the rearview mirror of his 1970 cherry red Plymouth Duster. Fresh out of Quantico, Nina Hayes, a groundbreaking FBI agent, discovers that Jim's brother isn't really named James and didn't actually die in the Vietnam War. Nina persuades Jim to grudgingly sign a document that would formally make him an FBI informant by the end of Duster Season 1, Episode 1. Jim becomes suspicious of Saxon after Nina presents him with strong evidence that Joey did not pass away as he believes. Jim decides he must determine whether Saxon was actually involved after Saxon claims that it would have been simpler to kill Bob Temple rather than have Jim go through the hassle of framing him. Given how much Jim still loves and misses Joey after all these years, he is willing to take this risk. Nina and Awan learn from their co-worker Jessica Lorraine Symes, played by Sofia Vassilieva, that Joey Ellis was killed in an unintentional propane tank explosion on North 83rd Street in Phoenix, Arizona, following some detective work they do in the FBI archives. Leland Breen, a former FBI agent, produced the case files on Saxon Ellis, which Nina attempts to obtain. At the conclusion of Duster Season 1, Episode 1, Nina learns that all of the files are inexplicably gone. However, when Awan discovers security footage of the van where Joey was when he passed away, Nina does make progress. Nina doesn't believe that Joey's death was an accident because of her personal grudge against Saxon, which she discloses to Jim at the conclusion of Duster Season 1, Episode 1. Jim becomes too intrigued to ignore Nina's potential lead, so she uses this information to persuade him to go undercover as a mole in Saxon's ranks. In Duster Season 1, Nina and Jim will collaborate against Saxon, but for different reasons. Jim's only concerned with learning the truth about Joey's death and is determined to prove Nina's theory wrong that Saxon had anything to do with it. Nina appears to be disobeying FBI Superior Agent Grant's, Dan Tracy, orders when she searches the FBI archives. As a result, Nina's supervisor, Abbott, tells her that she will be moving to a field office in Butte, Montana. For Nina, this means that her career will be terminated and that she will be far from Saxon. In Duster, Nina not only thinks that Saxon killed Joey, but she also thinks that Leland Breen, who was in charge of the Saxon case, might have covered it up. The fact that Nina is being transferred as a result of her investigation into the FBI's past should be a warning sign that there is a problem within Phoenix's FBI division. In addition to avoiding transfer and securing Jim as her informant, Nina is further entrenching herself in a possible conspiracy. It's crucial to remember that Nina's reasoning may be faulty or biased because her main goal is to bring Saxon to justice rather than exact revenge for Joey's passing. However, she draws attention to a clear discrepancy between the security footage of the van explosion and the cause of death listed in the Phoenix Police Department's police report. The reports claim that Joey was smoking in the van while using leaky propane tanks is dubious because the explosion source was evidently underneath the vehicle. Nina is not only convinced that Saxon killed Joey in Duster, but she also thinks that Leland Breen, who was in charge of the Saxon case, might have concealed it.